she broke my heart in Walgreens and I cried all the way to Sears. There was a time when I believed that she belonged to me. She told me that I was the only one she'd ever need. That was before this trucker came and took her for a ride. Now there's nothing I can do to keep her satisfied. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew there was something wrong. Suddenly she'd get headaches every time we were alone. When she finally told me we were downtown at the mall, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I thought for sure I'd fall. Well, she broke my heart in Walgreens, and I cried all the way to Sears. I tell you, I hadn't heard this much in damn near 20 years.
Good luck getting this song out of your head. Broke my heart at Walgreens, and I cried all the way to Sears. I don't know if this is a guy who originally did it or not, but what a great song. This is just some dude out there, I don't know, in like Virginia or Mississippi or something. But you know what it really is? Not only is it a tale of a broken heart, it's a tale, it's a retale, if you will, of times gone by. When you could go to a mall and there would be a Walgreens and a Sears. It's really, in addition to being a pretty solid earworm, isn't it also a commentary on the decline of the American mall?
Isn't that big, brick and mortar stores? All that.
Isn't that the subtext?
It is now.
Yeah,
I don't think it originally was, but it is now.
That's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing with it now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when was the song actually written?
Well, I think Ruby Wright did it. Billy broke my heart at Walgreens, and I cried all the way to Sears. The version that I grabbed was from another guy who did it. I don't know what year this is.
I imagine it's not something that came out in the past 2 years.
No. It's 1966.
Yeah.
For those who think young, I got this sad
That was the heyday of Sears. You're going to Sears, you're dressing up fancy to go to Sears.
Is that what it is? Because it was still and Roebuck.
Yeah.
Told me goodbye. He wanted his ring back, for he told me there'd be no wedding this year. Billy broke my heart at Walgreens, and then I cried all the way to Sears.
Still sounds like an ad.
I like the dude's version better. Mack Allen Smith, the guy from Mississippi.
This is just the original version of the Applebee's song.
We all fancy like
yeah.
we're eating shakes and chicken wings.
2 for $20 appetizers or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
right. Oh, man. Yeah, I like his version way better. Because more upbeat. It's...
Well, she broke my heart in Walgreens and I cried all the way to
Yeah,
Sears.
she's not over it. He's over it.
Yeah, he is.
Hadn't hurt this much in darn near 20 years. It felt just like a mule that kicked me right between my ears. When she broke my heart in Walgreens and I cried all the way to Sears.
Now, I'll tell you what. This guy also is going to stick a fork right in the post-retirement plans. I should say not post-retirement. This guy's going to stick a fork in the retirement plans of one William Squire.
Do I have retirement plans?
Yes, you're going to become a train guy.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ever going to actually be able to retire, but at some point I'm going to be a train guy. Model train.
This guy has a song called I Hate Trains.
Oh, let's hear it.
He hates them.
You hate trains?
I hate trains, dreary nights and drizzling rain. I hate trains, that lonesome whistle give me a pain. I don't care what Johnny Cash said, all them trains it goes straight to well. I don't care what Johnny said, I hate trains.
This is a song by a dude that he caught his wife with a football team or something. He's not talking about locomotives. He's just using that as
I
a
hate
vehicle.
trains.
Yeah.
They were running one on my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then she broke up with me at Walgreens, and I cried all the way to Sears. Maybe when she broke up with him, he cried it all the way to Sears. He was on that kids' mall train, the little one that goes around the track, and that's why he hates trains.
That's why.
These are all chapters of the same story.
I hate that train so much. That stupid kids train that they have, because you got to pay way too much for it, and it's so the kids. I mean, I guess it makes some kids happy, but it's not that exciting.
Well,
You can walk faster than it.
I famously get to a mall twice a year, and then I come here and tell everybody like I've just discovered the land before time. But when we were at Great Northern Mall a few weeks back, they had that little train.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone on it, parent and child alike, they were beaming. They looked like they were having so much fun, and you rarely see that anymore. Anytime you see a happy kid, you see a parent who looks miserable, and vice versa. But everybody and you're right, that train's not that exciting. And the guy that was driving it, it's just another day. Right. But everybody on that train looked like they were having a good time.
Try not to run over a 9-year-old.
Yeah, we had to stop because it was crossing our path.
Yeah.
And back in the day, again, I'm old, back in the day in the mall, they laid down track. There was circular track that used to be on. Now they just drive it. The
other one, it's not a real train. That's kind of why I'm against it. When when they had the one that was on the track, that's a real train. Now, it didn't go as far, but
it just
you were on an actual track. You were on an actual train. What they're doing is it's a golf cart with some trailers behind it.
With like a chassis that makes it, That's exactly what it is. No, I'm just saying.
I'm a train truther.
Yeah.
And if it ain't on tracks, it ain't a train.
So I don't know how I stumbled onto the music of Mack Allen Smith, but I'm all in now. His version of She Broke My Heart at Walgreens and I Cried All the Way to Sears. He has a song called Too Poor to Leave. Who among us can't identify with that?
Cheaper to keep her.
Too poor to leave.
Well, I've been working on this job just about all my days, trying to feed them hungry kids and pay the bills we've made. Sometimes I'd like to pack it in and go out and do what I please, but I did wrong and I stayed too long. I'm too poor to leave.
You know, this is a common...
These are good country songs.
A common theme, too. I don't know if these are all covers, but like one of my favorite songs from Merle Haggard is Working Man Blues. And it's a common refrain in these songs that they're super poor, but he's got to keep on working because he's got to get new shoes for his 9 kids.
Oof.
Bro, have one. Why do you have 9 kids? I mean, listen, there's probably nothing else to do. Sex is free, I get it. But, you know, it's a tale old as time. But poor Mack Allen Smith.
But there's so many ways to not have a kid.
I know. So many ways to not have a kid. And you could be, what little money you have could be spent on other things. Mm-hmm. Listen, if they're your kids, you love them. But, I mean, poor Mack Allen Smith is too poor to leave. Oh.
Too poor to leave.
This is why he hates trains, too.
Because he can't get on them. He can't afford it.
He's got kids. He can't just throw a bindle on his back and ride the rails. Do you want to hear Angel Face, Body Full of Sin? That's another one of his songs.
I want to hear.
Or am
all
I
his
boring
songs.
everyone with
No,
every? I'm just fascinated with Mack Allen Smith because I think he's like just a guy in Mississippi. I don't think he's a touring dude. I could be completely wrong. I don't know if he's part of that Pokey Lafarge entourage or what, but.
Have you ever been to a honky-tonk where the rednecks came to fight? Did you ever step inside a joint where you couldn't see the light? Have you ever been to
He's definitely not touring.
Well, this says he's a Mississippi country and rockabilly singer.
Yes, and he died in 2002.
Oh, he did really?
Yeah, December 7th, 2002. He was born in 1938.
Yeah.
So, he had a good run.
Mixed drinks from the bottle that you brought with you that night.
I'm not drunk, I'm just drinking.
Yeah.
I love it.
He's got I'm not drunk, I'm just drinking. He's got if only I could get one hit. Now, I don't know if he's talking about drugs or he's talking about a musical hit. Probably a musical hit.
His record label, just the name of it, rules. Fat Possum Records.
Only I could get one hit.
Yeah.
I know I surely quit my messing around.
This is a song Blake Hammond was singing back in the day, but he was
Yeah.
talking about something else.
I'd put my money in the bank. I swear I'd never take another drink. Oh Lord, if I could just get one hit or two. All my life I've been fighting them turnip green.
This is the kind of music that my grandmother would listen to when I was a young boy, and I couldn't stand it as a kid, right? But now as I'm an adult and I kind of have that retroactive nostalgia for it,
Yeah.
you know, I can kind of appreciate it a little bit more. I mean,
They've played some of his stuff on Eastbound and Down and Righteous Gemstones.
true.
So that's pretty...
Yeah, I couldn't get
That's
into
what's
Eastbound.
familiar.
Maybe I'll go back to Eastbound and Down. You know,
Give it a shot. It's so funny.
I'm clicking around, and for the umpteenth time, I'm trying to get into Deadwood. And for some reason, I just cannot get into Deadwood. I'm like, this is a show that by all accounts I should love. It's got Timothy Olyphant, who can't do anything wrong. It's got Ian McShane. The cast is awesome. It's in the Old West, right? I'm like, everybody talks about what an amazing show it is. It's only 3 seasons, so I don't have to commit a decade to catching up on it. But I'm like, I just can't get into Deadwood. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, I should be binging a sitcom. I should be finding a funny show and binging that.
Or binging.
Maybe, because I couldn't get into Eastbound and Down, maybe I'll go back to it.
Give it a shot. If that first season doesn't make you laugh your ass off, I don't know what to tell you. It's so funny.
Because I can't get, I'm like, I could go back and watch Veep all over again. I could go back and watch 30 Rock all over again. Again, Community,
You never got into
that's
that.
another one that I would
love
have
that
to
one.
try to get into.
I love that one.
So I don't want to just go back and watch something I've seen
Yeah.
because I know it's funny. I'm like, maybe Eastbound and Down is a great
Give it a shot.
suggestion.
There's a new season of You out.
Gwen watches that. I don't watch that.
Yeah, it's one of those shows where every time I start a season, I'm like, this show's so stupid and make believe and unbelievable. And by the end of the first episode, I'm like, well, let's go.
Oh,
let's
really?
do this, because it's very over the top with some of the adventures, we'll say, he goes on. I'm trying not to spoil things. But you're still intrigued enough. You're like, I got to see what happens next. Some of the acting is the worst but I can't stop.
But is the
watching
premise
it.
of the show kind of like a sexy Dexter? Is that kind of what it's?
He's not even like, I wouldn't even think of him as sexy because he's really problematic.
Okay.
But there are definitely people that think of him as like a sex symbol. But he kills a lot of people.
Well,
it's not great,
we were talking when Poundcake was talking about sex
but it's
scenes.
intriguing.
Sex scenes earlier with actors. I was reading an article today. Penn Badgley is the main guy in You, and I think he blew up from that Gossip Girl cast 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think
He
that's where
did.
he got
That's-
famous.
That's where I know him.
But I was reading an article where he told them for this new season that he wanted to cut way, way back on the sex scenes.
Yeah.
He said something like, listen, I'm a married guy. I take that kind of seriously. I take my craft. I don't want to be pigeonholed into that thing because it seems like that's what people are looking at him now from that show is like he's this sexy dude. And he's like, they didn't even bat an eye. They cut way, way back on the sex scenes because he goes, I just didn't want to, you know. But yeah, Gwen loves that show. I've never seen it.
It's definitely not what I would normally watch, but I can't stop watching it. Every season, it starts so dumb, it ends dumb, but I just like it. I'm not even saying it's a good show. I'm just saying I like it.
Well, it's popular.
Because I'm dumb. It's very popular. But it's very like soap opera type dramatic.
Hey, Thomas.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
Hate you guys.
Thank you.
Hate the show, of course.
Thank you.
Bill, I hate to put you on the spot, but I got an argument for you with your train theory.
Okay.
All right, something can be considered a train without having tracks.
We're not talking about sex
That
trains. We're
female
talking about
cop
train
from
trains.
Tennessee.
He's not talking about that. Yeah.
Oh my God! Woo! Listen to that horn! Oh my God! Oh, she's beautiful.
Now that's
Unless
definitely not Mac Allen Smith because he hates trains.
You're leaving tracks still. There's a trace.
Do you want to hear I'm not drunk, I'm just drinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not drunk, I'm just drinking.
This is my Friday song now.
I'm not stoned,
Yeah, right?
I'm just thinking about the way that you done me, thinking about what used to be, but I'm not drunk, I'm just drinking. I'm not drunk, I'm just
These are probably all covers. I mean, I don't know the original ones. So for those of you who do know the originals and are screaming
he's
at me, I mean,
been around a long time.
but I also like his versions if
Yeah.
these are all covers. I mean, anyway.
But it's also that time when they, like, a lot of songs were just passed around like that.
Yes.
You know, everybody's doing their own version of it.
How about I'm shipping your ass back to Arkansas?
I was just a fool to marry a woman with a dat-burned mule. And I'm getting mighty tired of your trifling ways. And
I get it, ass is mule.
Bray.
I like the use of trifling.
Yeah.
Well, I caught you last night and the night before. Baby, I ain't gonna catch you no more. Right, your folks, it's our last.
This one's a little more rockabilly.
You
Yeah.
home on a Greyhound bus, and you can tell your brothers, your cousins too. Baby, I got me a belly full of you. You can tell your ma, you can tell your pa. I'm a shipping your ass back to Arkansas.
That's 1978. That's Tony Fox and the Tones. All righty, anywho, I got to take a break here. I will have Robert Plant and Alison Krauss tickets for you on the way back. Not too far removed from this kind of stuff, by the way. They're going to do a show out at Blossom this summer. So if you want to go see that, I'll hook it up. 5:30 is going to be that next chance for you to grab some money. There's $1,000 ahead of you here to go fund yourself with that keyword. So we'll do that. If you want to text for anything else, 35192, and we'll be back.
Get ready to celebrate the songs and artists you've listened to and loved